Thank you for choosing Long Beach Unified School District's Child Development Center. This is our pre-enrollment packet that will start your application process to enroll your child into our program. This is the emergency contact list. It has to be completely filled out in order for us to be able to utilize it. On this form, you're going to put your child's last name. Make sure it is the legal name. It has the complete last name as seen on the birth certificate, as well as the child's first name. We do not require the child's middle name on these forms. So your child's last name will be here, your child's first name is here, and the date of birth. The security code here, this is going to apply if you have any questions or concerns. The enrolling parent is the only person that will have that security code to call in to ask any questions if they have any concerns. This will allow us to discuss that information with you over the phone because it will verify your identity, as all the information we have for your child is private and we can't discuss that with anybody but the enrolling parents. The parents and guardians will go here and here. If there are two parents in the home, they will both go here. If there's only one parent in the home but the other parent is still a part of the child's life and what is going to be on the emergency, they still go both here. All of the information has to be completely filled out. This section is for additional emergency contacts. This is for people over the age of 18 only. They have to be within 30 minutes of the center, and they are in addition to the parents listed here. Please do not list these parents again in this section. We require a minimum of 3 additional people. If you have more, you can include as many people as you'd like. If you need a second form for more than the 5 people, we can include that as well. Please just let us know. We need the complete first and last name of the emergency contact that you are including. This has to be the full name that's listed on their photo ID that they will be presenting at the site when they pick up their child. We also require the complete address, city, and zip code of that emergency contact. Make sure we have that complete information that is required in order to enter them into the system. We also require at least 1 contact number per person. If they live in the same home and have the same phone number, that only constitutes 1 emergency contact. So we would need an additional person at that point. Please also remember to put the relationship of the child here, so that way we know who they are in relation to the child if there are any questions or concerns. This section here pertains to if there's an emergency situation, how do you want it addressed? Where do you want us to take that child? If there is a specific physician or hospital that you want us to take your child to or have us call, please enter that information. This will only be used in an emergency situation. If there's a dentist, please enter the information here. The earthquake contact, that is in the event of an emergency. If we cannot contact you directly because the phone lines are busy locally, this will be the contact outside of the area that we can contact to have them relay the information to you. Please make sure you put as much information for that person that you can. So first and last name, if you have the address, that's fine. If you don't, if you just have the city, that's okay too. But we need at least a city and a zip code and maybe the state that they're in, as well as a contact phone number. If the child has any medical conditions, that could be any medications being taken at home for any asthma, if there are any contact lenses, hearing aids, all of that information has to be entered on this line. Once you have completed all of this information, please make sure you sign and date the form at the bottom. Go ahead and review the information now, complete the form, and then we'll go on to the next page. This is the parent intake form. Please make sure you complete your child's information at the top. It'll be your child's first and last name, their date of birth, and each parent's information here. All of these questions need to be answered to the best of your knowledge. And then when you finish filling all of this out, make sure you sign and date it. Go ahead and take a minute to fill out the form and then go on to the next page. This is your student's permanent health history. When you complete this form, please make sure you are answering each question indicated on the form. You're going to include your child's first and last name, their date of birth, the gender of your child. Here, please indicate the school that you are enrolling your child into, the date that you were filling out the form, and if the child has attended a preschool or an elementary school in the district before, please enter that information here as well as here. If you have the parent guardian's information, please complete those here. the name of your health insurance plan carrier here, and specify whether or not it's Medi-Cal. All of these questions need to be answered yes or no. Even if they don't apply, make sure you answer no. Each section has to be completely filled out. If there is any additional medical information that you wish to list, you can enter that information on these 2 lines. Please take a moment to completely fill out the form, and then we'll go on to the next page. This form is the physician's report. This is required for all of the programs that any children are enrolling into the CDC program. On this form, the first and last name of the child is required here, and the child's date of birth. You do not need to indicate the name of the site if you do not know what site you're going to be enrolling at. However, this does have to be signed and dated. This is the only portion that the parent or guardians will be completing. This entire section is only to be completed by the child's physician, the nurse practitioner, or a representative of the doctor's office. Once all of this information is completely filled out, they can indicate whether or not the child is at risk for a TB test and fill out the information here. If the child is at risk, a TB test is required and they can complete the information in this section. However, if the child is not at risk, they can complete this section and check that the child is not at risk, and then complete the attached risk assessment questionnaire. Both of these forms, if they are going to complete the questionnaire and this, they need to be completely filled out, signed, dated, and stamped by the physician's office. The 3 fields of information that have to be completed on this form in order for us to be able to utilize it are the date of the physical exam, the date that the form was completed, as well as the signature of the person that is completing it. We also require that the office for the physician stamps this form with their stamp to verify that it was completed by one of their office staff members. If all of that information is not included, we will not be able to use that form as it will not be recognized by licensing or the health department. Please take a minute to review the information and make sure that if any forms are coming into the center, coming from your doctor's office, that they have the information required as well as the stamp. Take a minute, review the information, and then we'll go on to the next page. If you are enrolling into one of our full-day services, you are required to have a need for our program. If you are a working parent, this is our verification of employment that has to be completed in order for us to provide the services around your work schedule. On this form, the only portion that will be completed by the parent or guardian is going to be this portion here. It'll be the parent guardian's name. This will be the name of your employer or company that you work for. The employer's address will go on this line with the city and the zip code in case we have to mail out the information and are unable to reach them by fax or email. We require the employer's phone number, so if there is a problem contacting them via fax, email, or through the mailing address, we can contact them to get further information. You can provide a fax number here. If they have an email address, rather than providing the fax number, you can write the email address over that line. We also need the name of the person that we will be contacting to verify the information or who will be completing the form. Once you've completed all of that information, please make sure you sign it and date it. Your employer cannot release any information to us unless you have completed this form. In order to prevent us from delaying any enrollments, we have to make sure that these are completed in full, and that will prevent any delays in having your employer complete the form. This information here is only for the employer to complete. Please do not answer any of these questions. This will be sent out for them to complete and to return to us. Go ahead and take a minute, complete the top portion of the form, and then we'll go on to the next.